Good afternoon, and welcome to a podcast where you meet real life experiences for making your own career growth. This podcast is hosted by students for students, and the guests are also students, ex students to be really clear. Your host for today, Kenisha Sharma, I'm going to host this podcast for you where you get a clarity on what you want to choose and how you will go ahead with it. I have Mrs. Bijal Powar with me. Mrs. Bijal Powar is an outstanding alumni that we have. She has been going with me through this whole podcast process really nicely, and today we are in conversation with her. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, hi,
How are you
Kenisha.
today?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you for inviting me, first of all. And I'm very glad that I could make it to the college, my alma mater, and I'm very happy to be here.
That's so pretty. That's so nice. I mean, I'm just loving the aura that you have over here.
Thank you so much, dear.
I'm a great fan. And so how was the traffic?
Traffic,
We just
Mumbai
started that.
traffic, you as usual.
When I
Little
came,
bumps and here and there, so it's okay, but we are used to by now.
yeah. The moment I came inside the studio, all of us were really worried in the morning when we were trying to do the setup. We were really worried
Mhm.
that when ma'am's gonna come, she's gonna have a lot of traffic to come with. And I hope she's not tired because we'll be shooting after that.
Right, right. No, 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 no issue, no issue. And I'm always open. I mean, I'll never be tired for my college. So, and that this college has only taught us not to be tired.
Tell me five things you're grateful for today.
Five things I'm grateful for today in life. First of all, my parents, because it's their encouragement and their motivation that they said that you have to be educated, and they said you go ahead. So we were not like it's not something that they were very poor also, and they
Hmm.
were not very rich also, but middle class people. But still, my dad was a bank manager and my mother was a teacher, so they knew the importance of education. So I'm very thankful for them. And secondly, I'm thankful to this college itself, my school and college, because at both the places I had the best of the teachers. So that's something I have to be grateful, and that shaped my career and all. So third is I think all the people in my life I could count, as a blessing, as my husband, my family, my daughter, my future son-in-law. They all play a very important role in my life, and they all make me happy. And I think good health is also very important
Yeah.
because just 2 years back, I was diagnosed with a disease, and it's an incurable disease, as what the doctor said. But
Oh,
I, as I'm not the one who just wants to lay back and accept it as it is, because as an engineer student, we keep on asking why and why
yeah.
not. So I said why it is not curable. There has to be some way. So then I, explored and other avenues and all that, and now I'm 80% almost on the path of recovery.
Wow.
So that's when you it strikes you that you have to be grateful for your health.
Hmm.
That suddenly you cannot walk and you understand the meaning of your fingers, your hands, and legs and everything. So you understand the importance of your health. So that is, I think, I should be grateful to God that I have all the organs in place. And it also, gave me an opportunity to think back that in the rat race that we are right now. Like everybody is, following something or the other, and they want to achieve this, and all the goals are set, but they forget that the ultimate goal is your happiness. So I think I'm in a happy place right now.
That's really nice. I'm really happy to hear that, and I'm glad that you successfully um, 80% accomplished your health back.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope that you get all your health
Yes,
back.
that's the goal.
How are your days in PVP, PV Polytechnic?
Oh, my college days. You are asking about 30 years back.
Oh my goodness.
So I passed out in 91, 92 year, 1991, 92 batch. So my college days were wonderful, so to say. I was a little reluctant to come over here because my goal was, that I wanted to become a professor and teach. So that was basically my goal. And I had already taken admission, in arts college. But my mother was like, at that time it was that if you get more than 80, I was a school topper. So they said that, if you get more than 80%, then you have only two options, either go in medical or engineering.
Yeah.
And 60 to 80, you go for commerce, and below 60, then it is arts.
Arts.
So nowadays, you are the luckier ones
Yeah,
because you have a lot of options open for you.
that's true.
So I was like forced to come over here because medical, it was like frogs and all that, and I was a little not very comfortable with that. But the first day that I came, and HOD also asked, like, how many of you have come here, forcefully? And I was the only person who raised my hand. And but I think she did a very good decision because I got my calling because once I started learning over here and professors and all that, they guided me very well. And now I know that yes, computers is something that I love. Electronics is something that I love.
What was your favorite subject, and what is the subject that you struggled in the most?
Okay. Um, I think all subjects were good. Microprocessor applications, I think that was wonderful. Documentation was good. Like we were taught by our HOD, Dr. Professor Tatte. He was a very good person. All our teachers, especially Dr. Professor Sanjay Desai sir.
Oh my God, we have been taught by him
Oh,
too.
great, great. And I was very happy and honored that I was called to felicitate him on his retirement day. So, because we were the first batch that he taught.
Yeah,
And maybe probably yours was the last batch that he must have
yeah,
taught.
as was the last batch he taught,
Yes.
and I was hosting you that day as well.
Acha, oh, great,
The
great.
the whole thing, the
Yes,
whole
yes.
event, I
Acha,
was hosting
okay,
that day.
right, nice, nice. So we had good professors, like
Yeah.
so we had a lovely time over here. Professor Sanjay Desai, as I said. Then we had Ramlu sir. I think he expired, and but he was a very strict professor. And we were like his personality was that we were also scared of him. Without him doing anything, he just has to enter, and we were like scared. But he was one of the best teachers. Like he taught us industrial electronics subject and its applications and all that, and practicals and all that, and it was wonderful. We had Supriya ma'am and many other teachers also. Like so, they were very good. So if you say all my subjects were good, but I used to look forward to microprocessor
Yeah.
and its applications. And I think first year chemistry lab and physics lab and all that was wonderful. The thing that we dreaded the most was the workshop because
Carpentry.
yeah, carpentry, the
Ah,
first year. So when we entered the workshop and we were like looking out, where are the chairs? Because in our this timetable, it was written that you have to spend 3 hours in the workshop, 3 to 4 hours in the
yes.
workshop. So 3 hours in 4 hours, we are going to stand. There's no place to sit. And big machines are there, vice machines and lathe machines and all that is there, and a little bit apprehensive about it. But it was good, like it was fun. So I think all the subjects are
I think 3 to 4 hours in a carpentry lab. I mean,
good.
I've gone through it, but it becomes easy when you have your friends with
Yeah,
yourself.
absolutely. We had, a vice and we are doing the iron jobs and we are making parodies of songs. We are making, all female band and all that. We were thinking that
Hmm.
we would, make our own band and one would be the singer and one would be on the drums and all that and all those happy days, that
Yeah.
it's flashing through my eyes. So we went to, and it was actually a good lesson, later on when we went for our training and plant training and in the industry. So this actually helped us because
Yeah.
this 4 to 5 hours is a task work, which we have already done.
Hmm.
So when we go into the industry, this actually helps us.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I mean, I know now. Now I know that you were forced into electronics. You didn't have a choice practically.
Yeah, right, right.
But वो moment क्या था when you know that electronics is your thing? Okay, I did the right thing coming here.
Mhm.
What sparked your interest in it?
Uh, okay, as I said earlier, that the magic of electronics, the chips, and the processing. You give mnemonics and opcodes and all that, and you give the commands, and
Yeah.
then something happens. It's nothing but magic. So that actually, when it started working, then you start feeling that yes, I've taken the right step. And in-plant training is very important. Like when you go for in-plant training, you learn so many things. So this college has a very good sandwich pattern that in the, I think, suppose sixth and eighth
Uh,
semester, you have to go for in-plant
yes.
training. And luckily for me, both the times it was digital electronics, which I loved. So what we were taught over here was 8085, which is
Hmm.
a very small thing at that time, CPU, and hexadecimal keyboard was there where we used to put in the
Okay.
opcodes, and such a small keyboard was there. And when we actually went to the training in the industry, they were huge monitors
Uh,
because they were not LCDs like today's. It was analog monitors.
okay.
So 101K keyboard and big CPUs. So it was a revelation, you can say,
Hmm.
that when you go there and you find all this. But because our fundamentals were so good that we could cope up and we could learn everything faster. So as I said earlier, that the workshop what we do, and when we go to implant training from 9 to 5, so that helps. That prepares you basically to work because when export orders and all that used to come, then we
Mm.
have to be standing on our feet,
Yeah.
and we have to work till midnight also.
Mm.
So that is why I think PV Polytechnic girls are very brave, because
Mm.
they've been doing all this on their own. So in the industry, we do have a name. Like when they say, "Oh, you come from PV Polytechnic," then they have
You
an
have your
admiration.
reputation that you carry.
Yes, and they have an admiration for you. That
Yeah.
okay, yeah, she's going to do well. So that's, I think, that's when it was a process that I fell in love with electronics.
Um, if I give you a time traveling machine, what would be that one or two things that you would like to change when you first started your diploma in electronics journey?
I think in this college, nothing. I found everything good, because it was very conducive to training and all that. As I said, our professors are so good and so meticulous in their teachings that we never had to attend any classes. Like we never had to go to any engineering classes for any other studies. Whatever was taught in the college, that was enough for us. And we have a beautiful library.
Huh.
One is in our college itself, and one is in SVT Home Science.
Right now,
Is
actually, we have our own department library as
Oh,
well.
great. That's very nice to hear. So we used to spend, because
Hmm.
as engineering students we have to spend our time in the library. So I used to spend a lot of time in library, and it was like not only electronics, but they have books on every subject, because there are so many. And the beauty of this place as Polytechnic is that there's not one department, there are 7 departments.
Yeah.
So you get to know about fashion designing, interior
Yeah.
designing, then DMLT, pharmacy, food and technology, commercial and secretarial practice. So you get to know different arenas, professional arenas and all that, and you get to meet different people also. Plus, when we used to travel from station to the college in rickshaw, we used to share it with SVT Home Science girls. So on the way, we didn't know each other's name, but we used to ask what you're doing and what
Huh.
subject you're taking and all that. So that was very good. So I think what I would like to change about this college is nothing. The teachers were wonderful. Facilities were wonderful. We had a wonderful computer lab also.
Yeah.
So I don't think so that
You really piqued my interest when you start, like when you talk about your college days. I mean, I feel as though it's the same generation that we are talking about because it's just the same.
it was the same, right?
सब सेम है
Mhm.
स्टिल वी शेयर रिक्शाज स्टिल वी आर ऐसे दूसरे कॉलेज की लड़कियों के साथ वी आर कमिंग एंड गोइंग एंड बातें
Right.
हो रही है वही सब पता चल रहा
और
है
मस्ती भी बहुत करते हैं.
हाँ
We do Adam's and so on. We did that also in this, but it's okay. It's all part and parcel of the game, and we
yeah
actually we thrived in this
hmm.
atmosphere, because it gave us, as you are right now, sitting so confidently in front of me and talking, and at such a young age. So I think that actually helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, when I was in school, I'll share a little incident.
yeah, yeah.
When I was in school, I always had this knack for, public speaking and,
Right,
hosting things and stuff. But I never approached so
right,
much.
correct.
I took part in debate competition.
Mhm.
मेरा नाम हमेशा debate
Debate.
competition में तो रहता है ना, झगड़ने के लिए I'm on the first.
Right, right, right.
But कभी
Incidentally, I also like debates. And they say you should have been a lawyer instead of an
oh
engineer.
my God, my mother says the same to me. She's like,
Yeah.
अभी engineering खत्म करने के बाद law कर लो.
Law kar lo. Correct,
So, what was I saying is, okay, I used to always be there in debate and annual day.
correct.
मगर कभी I never hosted. Annual day में भी I used to be पीछे dancer, little वो,
Right, right,
you know,
right. So understood. Yeah.
those fluff balls लेके and हाँ,
Background.
I used to be background dancer.
Right,
I
right.
never used to host things. But once I came here, I started engaging with the teachers. I started
Yeah.
talking with them. I started finding out my more skills
Right.
that I already have, but I never could, polish them nicely.
Correct, correct,
I
correct.
never showcase them properly. But right now, I mean, I'm sitting right in front of you hosting.
Yes.
So I have a lot of growth, just as you said. And that's why I relate to you so much right now because it's no different. There, I don't feel a generational gap right now. हाँ सीरियसली मेरे को नहीं लग रहा है आई मीन ऐसे नहीं लग रहा है कि आई एम टॉकिंग टू अ वेरी सीनियर एलुमनाई टू मी इसलिए ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे मेरी सीनियर है जो अभी अभी पास आउट हुई है उनसे मैं टिप्स ले रही
जो
हूँ
बात
बैठ
तो
के
बातें कर रहे हैं. Yeah, because this is actually, what happens is your all girls are there, first of all.
हाँ
So that fear of, as you said, public speaking, it actually goes away.
हम्म
In my case, what happened, I was already, I was the head girl of my school, and I was always in the forefront. So here also, from the first semester itself, I was the CR. I was the CR throughout. And then in the second year, I became the general secretary also. Here it was like, it was something very big because electronics people generally do not, become the GS and all that.
Huh.
So I think I was the first one from our department to become the GS. But it actually helped, it develops your leadership qualities and it helps because you then know, these youth festivals and all that you have to organize and then you have to micromanage everything. So it helps in every arena of your life.
Yeah.
So not only in my business it helped me, but it also helped me in my personal life also. Like just last December, my daughter got engaged. So I had, jotted down all points and given it to the anchor, and he was so surprised. He says, "You are giving me such concise points, such small, small things also you're remembering and you're
Mm.
writing it down." I said, "This is a habit that we developed in the college." So I think that actually helps you. Even in your business decisions and all that, when you are in the business, that micromanaging is very, very important.
Yeah.
People look at the bigger picture, but they forget that there are small things to be, taken care of. Like when you are doing this, podcast and all that, you have to take care, okay, coffee is there or water is there, and how the lighting and everything. Those micromanagement is a must, and I
Yeah.
think that helps you.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
What would be that one tip that you would like to give a senior or sorry, a junior of yours right now, like just like me,
Okay.
हम जो है टेक्निकल टीम वाले
Right.
होस्ट, हमें क्या टिप देना चाहेंगे आप?
Uh, Tip in the sense, I would just give you advice. Well, first is that enjoy. It's not a big deal. Like, don't take it so seriously. But because we used to cry, अगर नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, 75% attendance, and I know how much overwhelming it is. Once from school you come to here, it is very overwhelming experience for you people.
Yeah.
So just take it with a pinch of salt, and you just do it. Dedication is a must, and you consistently keep on trying, and enjoy this college moments and in-plant training. Please take it seriously, because there any work is not below you.
Hmm.
It's not that I'm an engineer, so I should not be doing this. There were times in my office where my receptionist, when she used to go on leave, I used to sit and handle the telephone calls and all that. So that those kind of things also, like, we did, and that actually helped in my business also later on,
Hmm.
because then you get to know everything, like how to handle the people also and everything. So when you are doing your implant training, just don't waste your time. Just take full opportunity of it. Not everybody gets a chance like this.
Yeah.
So when you're getting it, so I think employee training is very, very important, and you should take it, very seriously. And yes, I think enjoy, and that's it. And whatever goal you have set for yourself, I think go for it. So either you want to, pursue a career, go for it. If you want to become an entrepreneur like me, then have a goal set and start early, because
Yeah.
starting early always helps. Because I always had a dream of having my own business. So that is what, after I finished my engineering. So I was actually all the implant both places were ready to take me in, because I was working very well over there, and I also had an offer from a Hewlett Packard company in the marketing team. So at a very good post. But that time, like, I had in mind that no, I want to do my own
Start my
business.
own thing.
So that's I refused everything, and I was very headstrong about it. And I said, no, I want to start my own business. I started with only one student. I wanted to start a computer classes. I'll come to it, like how I
Huh.
came about it, like how I thought about it also. But I started with one student, and then it went on. Within a year's span, I was training 20 people. So that's how you have to be focused. So don't lose your focus. No, but just because she is doing something, I want to join. It should be something about your passion. You should be passionate about it. So we had lot of digital electronics was the in thing at that time. So many people are coming into it, but it was not their passion. So then they failed there. So it has to be your passion. And once you follow what your passion is, then you don't feel like that it is work.
Yeah.
Even if you have to,
Becomes
day
fun.
and night and all that, yeah, it becomes fun for you then. So you don't get tired doing that. So I think that's what you should do. Follow your dreams, follow your
I would like to give you a follow-up question for that.
passion. Okay.
How was your so when I studied your portfolio, I mean I was super interested, but a question that piqued me was कि how did you transition from engineering to business and management? I mean, there are those knickknacks that you need to understand about
Yeah,
money management and then
correct.
dealing with customers and stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How did you do that?
Okay. See, let me start from the beginning, like how actually I, thought about being opening a computer class or something. During my infant training, as I said, we had to go on field work. So for repairing computers and all that. So that time, like I had gone to one place where old place जहाँ पेरी वगैरह बोलते हैं कि सेठ जी बैठते हैं and all that.
हाँ.
And they had on the mezzanine floor they had a computer over there and it was to be repaired. And before me, two engineers had already gone and they failed and they were not able to do it. And I was sent over there. So first of all, female. Secondly, very young. My height is also not. So he looked me up and down and said, you have come to repair the computer. Will you be able to do it? And he had a lot of doubts. So he was very doubtful about it. And I said, yes, I'll do it. So show me the way. And I went up and as soon as I opened the CPU, it was a big thing. I opened the CPU, everybody's heads is inside because they were so curious about the computer. At that time, talking about 30 years back.
Mm.
So then I had to tell them that please go aside and let me do my work and all that. And it was a very simple task. They wanted to have two hard disks. And when it was kept horizontally, it was working fine. And when it was kept
Vertically.
it was not working. So that was a simple case of two hard disks, steel bodies, and they were shorting each other. So I asked for a thermocol, a piece of thermocol, and I kept as an
Between
insulation,
में, हाँ.
yeah, in between the two hard disks. It started working. So within 5 minutes, the job was done. As soon as the news reached there, the same thing,
Impact.
yeah, immediately everything changed. Madam, please sit here. Madam, would you have coffee? Please have dahi bhalla. यहाँ पे बहुत famous है. And he could not believe that the computer is actually problem is resolved. There was another fellow who was working like the data entry operator. So he came to me, very silently, and he said, "Yeah, I need your help." I said, "Oh, tell me what you need." So he said, "I'm trying to back up the hard disk, and I'm doing it since last 3 days, and I'm still in the process." And that time, disk operating system DOS was there, where you have to put the command. So he was using the command copy and single file. He was, putting it on the floppy disk. This is all very new to you because floppy disk and all that is very like
No,
how you have pen drive right now.
हाँ.
We had floppy disk at that time.
So basically, when we were taught about microprocessors, there
Yes.
was also history that we was taught about.
Yes. So this is something
So,
historical that you must be finding it.
so I have a little bit, I have some clue what you're talking about.
Right,
I
right.
get a picture in my head.
Correct, correct.
Obviously, I won't be able to get into the
Yeah, right,
technicality
right,
as
right.
much as you can,
Correct, correct,
but I
correct.
have the picture in my head.
Right, right.
Please
So like
continue.
he was like he was using that, and I asked him like, from where have you learned this DOS? He gave a very reputed computer classes name, and I was surprised that he didn't know Xcopy. There's a command called Xcopy.
Hmm.
So I asked him, "Do you know about it?" He said, "No, we have never been taught." So I said, "Okay, do one thing. Get me a box of floppy disk." And I did that Xcopy C colon E colon, and then within 20 minutes the complete hard disk was backed up, and he was like this. And I asked him how much fees have you paid over there, and he gave me an exorbitant amount. And I said, that's when I decided, no, I think I should, open my own computer classes and teach people the practical things, what is needed,
Hmm.
not just the basics, but everything that is needed. So that sowed the seed in my mind that I should be, opening up my own
Own
computer
classes.
class and all that. So this was something, this is how it happened. And obviously, as I said earlier, that I started with my own computer classes. Then I got married and I shifted. And afterwards, I joined BITS and
Hmm.
TULEC, which is a division of Tata Infotech. I was selected over there as a senior faculty. I trained there for some time. And meanwhile, my husband, whom I met in the training period only, he was a senior engineer, by the way. So he had heard about ITES, that is medical transcription. So he told me that if you want to do your own business, he was very encouraging. So he said, if you want to do your own business, why don't you, follow up on this?
Hmm.
Read about it and find out and all. So when I came to know about medical transcription, I was intrigued and I said, okay, let's do it. And I'm very proud to say that we were the pioneers in bringing medical transcription to Mumbai.
Wow.
So we were one of the pioneers. So we started my medical transcription training sessions. It is actually medical transcription is, I would say when we gave the ad,
Hmm.
and the first day I got 81 calls inquiring about medical transcription. I had that many walk-ins also. I had doctors coming from KM hospital sitting in front of me and asking, "Oh, this is our field, but we don't know about it. What is this? You tell us." And I said, okay, this is actually US doctors' work that we were doing. US doctors, they have they have to put all the records, patient records, health records, digitized form. It's compulsory over there. So they don't have that much time to type in and all that. So what they do is they use a dictaphone, they dictate everything, and then the transcriptionist listens to it, these are all pre-recorded things,
Okay.
audio. So you can fast forward, you can play, and you can do rewind and everything. So you type it, make it into a digital format, and then send the file to them. So they have started sending this to India because we have the time zone difference.
Hmm.
So at night when they sleep, they give us all the dictations, and here in the daytime, it's daytime over here.
Hmm.
So we transcribe everything and we send it back to them. So by the morning, like they get all the reports and all that. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah.
Because people think यार इसमें क्या डिक्टाफोन से सुन के टाइप करना है.
I got tired just by listening at it.
Because no, there are certain, the doctor will be saying that the patient is afebrile. Now, afebrile can be two ways, like afebrile without space and afebrile with space, and both meaning is completely different. When you say afebrile space, that means the person is having temperature, fever, febrile. Okay, and you say afebrile together when you write, then it is that normal, normal temperature. So now when you're hearing it as afebrile. So now how do we, do it properly? We have to go back. Vitals check करना पड़ता है whether temperature is high
Oh
or
my God.
normal, and then accordingly write it. So it's a little technical thing, but and they pay a lot for that. So so it's not
Yeah,
very
that should
easy.
be good.
Yeah, it's not very easy as it sounds, but we did that and we started training, and we also did teleradiology for a South American company in Guyana. We handled their complete radiology lab, the hospital. Only technicians were there. We had radiologists on our panel over here, India, and they used to scan the images and they used to send it to computers over here. Our radiologists used to see it, write the reports, and send it back to them. So that's how, ITES is IT enabled services.
Hmm.
So you use computers not only for computers as per, but other fields
Other
also.
fields as well.
So that's how we came into that. And then, US people, US clients, doctors, when we started talking to them and all that. And as I said earlier, that the college has already prepared us for, tackling different people and all that. So we were able to, manage the things and all that. And then later on, we started a help desk center. That is a domestic call center and all that. And little by little, I think every person should remain a student forever. They should always be learning. So I have had to learn about the financial process and all that because it was, financial institute for whom we were taking whether home loans and all that could be given to that person or not and all that.
Correct.
So I myself had to undergo the training and then we went about it.
Oh my God.
So it's a transition period, slowly and steady, but
Hmm. So
yes,
the learning goes on.
learning goes on. We started with 8 seat and we went up to 80 seats
Wow.
within a span of 2 to 3 years, and that was wonderful.
That's inspirational.
Yeah, absolutely. So you put your mind to it, you can definitely do it. So it's not that you don't bind yourself that okay, I'm into this field, and see, it's up to you. If you want to go into research and all that, it's also good.
Yeah.
So you go into research. If you want to go into electronics programming, that's also fine because programming is what I love, also coding and all that. So and we were already taught GW Basic. I don't know whether you have heard about Basic or not. Now I think C and all that was
C.
better. Yeah. So C I learned
C
it later
embedded.
on. Yeah, C, C++, and all. I learned it later on, but GW Basic was taught in the college. So we started with that. So programming is also fun because I
Wow.
used to teach that to my students.
I'm sorry, I'm really awestruck by your transitioning because I mean, see, I see a lot of people transitioning from careers to careers,
Right,
but I don't see them adapting to the trends that come.
right.
And when I'm listening to you, I feel there is no limit for you to adapt to things.
Right, absolutely. Yes.
So that is actually motivation. I mean, I can't express the feeling right now that I'm getting. I'm really awestruck, and I mean, just
It's good.
क्या
It's
बोलूं मैं
good.
अभी
No, no, good. If students like you can be inspired by my story, and it's hard work, sheer hard work, persistence, and I would not say I have done it. It's I think God Almighty has also helped me, and plus the college and everybody has helped me a lot. So I think
but
every uh, uh, you can say my life milestones, every milestone I had help from somebody, and that kept me going.
but okay, now I'm gonna ask you a serious question.
Yeah.
Was there never a time where you felt as though okay, बाप रे अब कैसे निकलूं यहाँ से या I mean अब क्या इसके आगे क्या give up या कुछ आगे solution तो how did you get out of that kind of a situation? Did you ever have that kind of a
Yeah,
situation?
all the time.
Oh
It's
my
all,
God.
it's all the time. I mean, without taking risk, you cannot go ahead. So when, as I said earlier, that I had that point whether I have to join Hewlett Packard or I have to do my own classes. That was one point where I had two choices in front
Hmm.
of me, and to pick up the choice that was, I mean, it was a riskier choice. You don't know whether you're going to succeed as a trainer or not. So that was one thing, and I said that I took the riskier one. And 1 year, like I was just getting some students, and the other person who had joined Hewlett Packard was already earning too much. So when we compared notes after 1 year, like I was saying whether I did the right thing or not.
You had FOMO.
Yeah, yeah. So I felt like she's earning so much, and she's already got a revenue and all that and collected, and I'm still here, I'm still teaching, and but then you have to have confidence in yourself to go ahead. And every time my business, when because when we were working for the US doctor, so when the check used to come from there, it takes 3 months.
Oh my God.
And then in the forex and all that, we need to
Hmm.
deposit and all that. But my people who are working over here, I need to pay them monthly. So every month it was like, and as I said, that nobody from my family was in the business world,
Hmm.
so we never had any inputs from like how the business should be
Should
spent.
work.
Yeah, so every month, and it was a plan B, A, plan B. Plan A is okay if we get the check on time and we can pay them. Plan B is if not, what tala laga de. Hopefully, we never went
Went
on
to plan B.
plan B, but always, that was also something which you need to work on. Like when you are taking risk, then you have to face the consequences also, and you should also know what is the right time to leave it.
Yeah.
It is not something that you take it to heart. कि नहीं, ये मैंने चालू किया, I'm very attached to it. I don't want to leave it. No,
Hmm.
it is not like as computer classes. Like computer classes is very near to my heart. But then, okay, fine. The trend was now changing because everybody knew about computers and they were learning from school itself and all that. So then you have to adapt yourself. You cannot just say, no, 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 I have invested so much of my time and effort into this company. I
How
don't want
can
to
I
leave
just
it.
leave it?
How can I just leave it? So one thing is that you need to be adaptable, and we kept on doing that. So that is how we kept on growing, and always have plan A and plan B in place. So that's what I said. It's a daily thing.
Now, I would actually like to go back to your college days again.
Okay.
Do you think that okay, sorry, you had a subject in your time which is now applicable because we're talking about 30 years back.
Right. Absolutely.
So, was there any subject that you learned at your college time which you can correlate to now?
Uh, yeah, I appreciate the question because what I was talking before was everything like I think you must have heard it historically, like you must not have seen it and observed it. Nowadays, you find that our beloved PM is encouraging a lot of research in AI, artificial intelligence, and I'm glad to say that I had already heard about it 30 years back.
Wow.
So we have our college library to thank for it, and our professors who kept on telling us, the new trends and which would be coming in future and all that. So I had already heard about it, and plus I used to watch Oprah Winfrey shows, so which is an American show,
Hmm. Yeah.
talk show, and there they had featured smart homes. So they like smart homes are there where the owner comes in, biometrics are there, and they can see your pupils and
Hmm.
your handprint and all that. They recognize you as the owner, and the house speaks to you. So that you're not lonely, and the house speaks, how is your day, and then again the kitchen also speaks to you that how would you like your toast, little burned, or how we want it and all, and with a flick of a fingers, the TV is on,
Hmm.
and even the curtains and all that open up, the AC switches on itself, and if there is any fire in your absence, then automatic dialing to the fire station, or burglary if something
Hmm.
happens, and even that is done automatically and all that. So that felt, like something, a magical world. Because that it was related to IT, obviously. So I was interested because it was all computerized. I know sensors must be there,
Huh.
which must be sensing where you leave the room and automatic the doors and everything closes and all that. So we knew the technology behind it, but we had never seen a smart home. Then later
Hmm.
on, we had one smart home in Mumbai, So I had visited that, like one smart flat they had made.
Wow.
So we had seen that, and plus there were talks about, if you want to learn golf, you can just sit at home and you just swing your arm without the bat. And there is this screen over there which will
Hmm.
show the complete golf field, and they will show how far the ball has gone, just
Okay.
measuring your arm movement and everything. And you just learn playing golf sitting at home. Or robotics, which are doing operations and all that, or vacuuming your house. The small robotics and all that,
Yeah.
and mowing your lawns and all that. So we had already heard about artificial intelligence at that time, and I was a lucky one that because I was in the digital electronics, I could know about it and I understood the basic behind it. And I used to teach my students also about it, and they were like,
Oh.
"Oh, man, this is magical." I said, "This is the magic of computers." And now I think everybody knows about it. Everybody's talking about ChatGPT. My daughter is also using it. If she has any questions, she just poses a question to it and she gets the answer on it. And I think everybody, even a layman who is not from electronics department, knows what it is, artificial
Yeah.
intelligence and all that. And our prime minister is doing a great job. I
Yeah.
think research should be done in that, and our country should come up with that.
I mean, our Prime Minister has been doing a lot of this for us, and his contribution towards the technology part of it
Yes,
is so much that right now, okay, so right now with AI, VLSI is also coming ahead.
correct.
VLSI is like, uh, you know, circuit on a
Circuit,
chip,
yes, yes, yes.
SoC,
Yes,
system on a
yeah,
chip.
yes, yes, system on a chip.
So because of that, because of all that technology coming in, we are able to learn those things now,
Right, absolutely.
and we have got, those subjects are introduced to us now, and
Correct.
we are also in the same process. When it starts, how is it going to be? How is it going to showcase?
Right, absolutely.
So when you taught it to your students, like,
Yeah,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think 25 years back,
yeah.
24, 25.
Yes, yes, yes.
So when you taught your students about it, how did you explain them something like this would happen
Mhm.
technically? Because everybody at that point must have been like, this is a fairy tale.
Felt it, yes. It's a magic, like, yeah. So it was something magic for them that is it possible? Like,
Hmm.
ऐसा हो भी सकता है and all that. So you have to like that's actually what happened was in our times we had vernacular medium students.
Hmm.
Again, I'm coming back to my college days. So we had vernacular medium students who came who did understand English, and here the first language is English only.
English.
So all the lectures were taken in English. So what I used to do is in the common room.
Hmm.
After the lunch hour, I used to have my own set of students. And I used to,
Coach them.
yes, coach them. It was double benefit for me because it
Your
was a
revision
revision,
used to be done.
revision, and all the things are in English. I used to tell them in Marathi or Gujarati and all that, and I used to explain it to them. So that training part came very easily to me. As I said, my aim was to become a teacher. So that training part came very easily to me. So you have to go down to that layman's level and
Huh.
teach them. So that's how I started teaching. Another incident that I remember is my dad. He was a bank manager, as I said. So they were, their one more institute was employed to train them in computers because they were like banks were now slowly getting digitized. So he used to be very excited about it, and he used to come in the evening, and he was also afraid. So he was like a small child. मैं ऐसा करूँगा तो खराब नहीं हो जाएगा, कंप्यूटर खराब नहीं हो जाएगा. And this, I said, Dad, don't worry and everything. I mean, I opened the computer and I showed him everything. Like, this is the motherboard, this is the chip, this is the IO board, this is the memory, this is where you're going to place
Hmm.
everything and all that. This is the ALU unit,
Hmm.
the
Huh.
processor and all that. So arithmetic logic unit is over here. This is how, and it's a Geigo machine. It's garbage in, garbage out. You put garbage like instructions, garbage like output will come. If you tell the computer you destroy yourself, it will destroy
Destroy
yourself.
itself.
So you don't have to worry at all. Whatever you are right, do play with it. Don't be afraid. And then he started learning, and he found it so nice. So I adopted this same thing with my students, that I used to open it them, and that fear is gone then. Once we start understanding how the interrupts, and see we have
Hmm.
the interrupts and
Huh.
all that. Once we start understanding how it works, how the computers work, so and it only works in 0 and 5 binary language.
Hmm.
So it is not going to blast. Once they know that, they understand it very well. And then it became very easy for me to explain to them what is AI and how that could be done. So they knew that it was magic, but they also knew the fundamentals at least behind it. Not the intricacies, but the fundamentals at least.
So at that time, it was all theoretical, or there was practical also in it?
No, theoretical, theoretical. Only,
Theoretical.
yeah. It was the future of computers, so it was all theory. Now practicals and all that, so they must be realizing it. मैम ने वो बताया था तो फिर so we were more into programming and coding and all
Coding.
that, coding and all that, coding aspect of
If I would ask you to give me three words describing your academic journey overall.
it. Okay.
Overall.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think first is overwhelming because school you're so protected, no? And
Hmm.
your teachers are there and they're like your second mothers and all that. And in college, luckily our college doesn't have a roll number system.
Oh.
Our professors knows us by names,
Hmm.
but otherwise if you go to different colleges, then you're a roll number. You're
Huh.
no longer a name. So here at least, so that was overwhelming for us because that difference is there. You are responsible for your own attendance.
Yeah.
You can bunk also. So which in school it was not possible. Here it was possible. So it was very overwhelming, the first, I guess. But exhilarating because you get to know so many things, so many new things, and I enjoyed it. So three words.
I mean, I but just the time you said overwhelming, I was like, okay, very similar situation.
Same thing happens. Yeah, with
Because
every new batch. Correct.
so it gets overwhelming, but you know how to manage it. You learn how to manage it macro, because you learn from micromanaging it to macro managing it.
Yes.
And you learn it so fast that you will not know that you actually learned something like that. You will just adapt it into.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I think that is something that,
And it's a wonderful process.
yeah, it's a wonderful process. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm in third year right now.
Mhm.
Almost I'm
Correct.
finishing.
Correct. Correct.
It's still overwhelming for me sometimes.
It will happen. It will happen. It's bound to because see, ours is it's a compact program that we
Mm.
have over here, and what they learn in 6 years, we are learning in 4 years.
Yeah.
So, and when the other friends, like my friends and all that from other fields, they were holidaying. Our exams are going May and all that.
Mm.
So that is like it's really overwhelming for us because then it becomes very this boring also. कि अरे
Boring also.
क्या यार लोग सब मजा कर रहे हैं हम लोग क्या पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं plus weekly test is also there which we
हाँ.
always used to find some or the other reason for the teacher to postpone it please postpone it
आज आज ये कर लेते
आज
हैं, आज लेक्चर पढ़ा लो, बाद में ले लेंगे
आज
टेस्ट.
ही ले लेंगे we had Wednesdays I don't know whether you have Wednesdays or not weekly test we
No, no.
always
Now it's all dependent on dates because there is a lot of extracurricular activities that
okay
happening.
okay okay
So now the teachers are like, तुम लोग हमें बता दो कब
when you
dates
are ready.
चाहिए.
So lucky you are. We had it on Wednesday. So every Wednesday there was some of the other tests and all that and submissions and so many things. So it was overwhelming definitely.
Touchwood for us, submissions and tests के time पे तो class tests I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about.
Yeah.
Our teachers are so cooperative. I mean, touchwood seriously. मैं अपने teachers हम सबको the whole class, I think the whole department, we love our teachers so much because they're so cooperating.
Yes.
We have one sir who teaches us embedded operating system, who
Okay.
teaches me embedded operating system. So that day we were sitting in the lab and he was like, I have to take your skill test, practical skill test.
Okay.
And we were like, sir, please, fest aa raha hai, enjoy करना है, participate करना है.
Right.
And sir was like, हाँ मैं लेने वाला हूँ मगर डेट तुम लोग ही बताओ कब है. तब तक तुम लोग फ्री हो, तुम लोग को जो करना है नेक्स्ट वीक से मैं
Right.
ही वाज लिटरली लाइक कि नेक्स्ट वीक से तुम्हारा फेस्ट चालू हो रहा है.
Hmm.
आई विल मेक श्योर दैट मैं तुम्हें मेरे तरफ से कुछ काम ना दूं.
Ah, great. So nice.
सो व्हेनेवर वी यूज्ड टू हैव लाइक कि नीचे काउंसिल में कुछ काम
Hmm.
नहीं है
Hmm.
तो ऊपर आके बैठ जाओ, लेक्चर
Right.
में लैब में बैठ जाओ.
Correct.
वी यूज्ड टू कम एंड सिट इन द लैब, यूज्ड टू गेट आउट. फेस्ट के टाइम में जाके एंजॉय करो,
Enjoy
कोई जरूरत
करो
नहीं
ना.
पढ़ाई
So,
करने
so,
की.
so sweet, so sweet. I
सो
think we had similar kind of professors. I said Professor Sanjay Kumar Desai, no?
हाँ.
So he was very good with mouth organ and he used to write and compose his own poems.
यस.
And we had, that youth festival singing competition, group singing competition. And he told the principal at that time, Kalindi Randiri was there, ma'am. So he told her that we are going to get one medal, one trophy at least, singing. I'm going to bring it to the college. And he saw to it, we got trained and he taught us a beautiful song and, we we sang it and we got the trophy also.
Wow.
That year we got the championship. I was a GS. We got the championship trophy in our college because
Wow.
we won so many trophies in various fields like vocals and Western
Huh.
vocals and dancing, folk dancing, and all that. So it was we enjoyed. Like our professors were also like that. It's not simply study, study, study. I like they also used to give equal importance to extracurricular activities. And as a GS, I have to spend so much of time organizing and all that. So all my professors and all that they were very very accommodating. I would
Yeah.
say that attendance भी है तो लिख देते थे. They
Huh.
knew I had to go somewhere and all that. So they used to help me out. Like.
Yeah.
So without their help and support, I don't think so that's possible.
That's
So
true.
that way, I think the trend is continuing.
Then just touch wood continuing.
Yeah, it should continue. Yes,
It
yes,
will continue at your time
absolutely.
also. Don't worry, all the newcomers.
Yes, absolutely, it should.
And so Sanjay Kumar Desai sir, to I mean, he lives next to me.
Right.
I
Oh,
live nearby,
okay.
and he just lives across the lane.
Acha, okay, great, nice.
So whenever there's this general store that we
Uh-huh.
have, whenever I'm going there, शाम
You
को
meet,
कुछ लाना है, बिस्किट विस्किट लाना है. So whenever I see him, I'm like, sir, कैसे हैं आप? And he's like, so now it's like he remembers me by my name, and that's
right.
a very big thing for me.
Correct,
I
correct.
mean, because that bond was created so well.
Hmm.
There was a lot of help of sir also in that
Correct.
because it's a two-way street.
Two-way street.
It
Absolutely,
doesn't
I
happen
agree.
one way.
I agree, I agree.
So now he remembers me by my name and he's like, I'm setting up my own lab. So he
Yes,
tells me about his
absolutely.
accomplishments and the time where there was this alumni meet.
Right, right.
If you remember, he sang as well. He played a mouth organ.
Mouth organ, yes.
And we have actually held that mouth organ he has.
Yeah,
Hi.
because I gifted him one because I knew that
Yeah.
he played. And once I had come for my, college living certificate, that time I had met him and I had asked him, like, sir, are you still continuing your, book, that poems book is
Mhm.
there or not? He said, no, I stopped. I said, why? Is it some problem and all that? So I
Mm.
said, no, I want that music back in your life, sir. Because after retirement, you are going to follow your passion. So when that opportunity came, I said, no, I need to give him a mouth
Mouth
organ
organ.
and make him realize that you have that in you,
Yeah,
to
that's true.
do this. So it's good. It's good. Nice.
Later on, he was so happy with it that when he came to teach us in the class and we were like, sir, please mood नहीं कर रहा है पढ़ने का नींद आ रही है. So he was like, अच्छा ठीक है क्या करना है? We were like, sir कुछ please गा के सुनाए.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we had no clue कि poems है. मुझे अभी तक पता नहीं था कि poems भी हैं.
He used to write, compose his own poems and even the music also.
Wow.
So all the musical poetries and all that he has it.
So he brought that mouth organ to the class.
Okay, and he
He
played for
showed
you.
it to us.
Lucky
He
you.
told us that you bought it for him, you gave him as a gift, and he was so happy, so excited. He played it for us. So that lecture I remember very well because it was all fun.
Correct, correct, correct.
That is like this memory that is always there with me.
Yes, yes. All our professors were like that. Even Ramlu sir and all that. Like when he came to know that we have to go to Patkar College.
Huh,
Youth
Patkar
festivals
College,
are
yes.
held over there. So he always said that, don't worry, you go, I'll take care of it. Like whatever, yeah, your attendance problems or
Huh.
something is there, I'll take care of it. I know that you are a studious student, and don't worry, I'll help you out. So even in the practicals and all that, he used to help us out. So all these are teachers and professors are very good. So I think that's a good thing. We're lucky.
Very lucky. Sorry. Ma'am, what do you think are the qualities a successful and a determined electronic engineer should possess in today's time?
I think dedication, first of all, towards your field and an open heart and mind because you need to be aware of the surroundings. Technology is changing every day, every minute. So you cannot say कि मैंने इतना पढ़ लिया तो बस हो गया. Like you have to, keep on learning. As I said, you have to always be a student. For being a good teacher also, you need to first learn.
Yeah.
So you need to learn and then teach. So, that happens. So as an engineer, you should be aware of what is going on in the field right now. Uh, and dedication is obviously there because without dedication, you will not be able to, once you fail, you just don't put it back. When you're doing your projects also, there might be sometimes, when even when in the implant training, like once after lunch, because we are not so used to working 9 to 5. So after lunch, I was feeling so sleepy that I put the IC ulta
अरे
and tuck. Once I started it and then it ud gaya.
अरे बाप रे.
So then it was like I had to woke up and I said, what did I do? But luckily it was an extra once and all. I was just
Okay.
repairing that. So it was fine. It was not a burden to the company and all that. But then that is there. But after that, I
Made sure.
made
Okay.
sure that this doesn't happen again
Huh.
because all these are very costly things and all that.
Hmm.
So you need your dedication for that. So I think an engineer should have the dedication and hard work because hard work pays
Yeah,
after all. Nothing else but hard work pays. See, intelligent everybody is there. That is why you come to this field. So brains you already have. But the thing is you need to do hard work also.
that's true. Okay. So I would like to play a little game with you. Is that
Yeah,
fine?
yeah, no
The
problem.
game is
Yes.
known as this or that.
Okay.
Should I explain it to you?
Yeah, yeah,
Mean-
please.
Okay, so there are two options that I'll be giving you,
Okay.
two words that I'll be giving you, and you have
Uh,
to choose between one of them.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, short
Fine.
game.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
very short game. Okay, so tea or coffee?
Oh, coffee, anytime. And if it is PV Polytechnic coffee, canteen coffee, it was the blood line of all the engineering students. I
Yeah.
mean, I think even now also we survived on that. Coffee is something which we survived, yes.
Mountains or beaches?
Mountains,
Okay. आज के गाने और पुराने गाने?
obviously purane gaane.
Android or iOS?
I am an Apple user.
Okay. College in another city or in the same city?
I think same city.
Same city.
Yeah,
Outside food, घर का खाना और कैंटीन का खाना?
घर का खाना anytime.
Practical
Now I'm thinking that time तो लगता था कि मम्मी ना दे तो अच्छा है कि हम लोग कॉलेज
कैंटीन में खा ले.
कैंटीन में खा ले.
Practical lab or theory lecture?
Practicals anytime.
Group projects or solo assignments?
Solo.
Solo?
Yes, because हम लोग computers जब share करने की बात आती है तो हम लोग बोलते नहीं नहीं I want to do it solo and we luckily we had that many computers over here.
हाँ
But sometimes we had to do it in group also.
हाँ
So
because वो उसमें फिर एक लीडरशिप को ये
हाँ,
सिखाया जाता है
yes,
कि
yes.
ग्रुप के
But then
साथ
what
कैसे.
what happens is the leader ends up doing everything. So in our group, like I used to end up doing everything, and the other people used to take the credit for it. But solo is always better. I prefer solo.
हार्डवेयर और सॉफ्टवेयर?
Both. I cannot choose because I'm a hardware engineer and I'm a software engineer also. I've learned coding also. So
कोडिंग और ट्रबल शूटिंग?
I think it goes hand in hand because once you write coding, you need to troubleshoot. So I think
That's
both
true.
again both.
But if I would tell you choose one, as in
Coding
like
anytime.
coding,
Yes.
taking risks or playing it cool,
Taking risk.
work from home, work from office or field work?
I think work from office is better.
Work from office.
Yes.
It creates the environment
It
like that.
creates the environment. Although I have worked from home also, and but then I was so focused there that it didn't feel like home. So I worked, night shifts and day shifts and all combined together, and for 2 3 months continuous I have done that. I've slept only for 2 hours. So because the US doctors and all that, they all
Hmm.
medical things and all that, they wanted it very
Huh.
urgently also. And I started respecting the medical field after that because I used to wake up my radiologist that he has already slept at 12, and by 2, if some emergency has come in, I used to wake up and he used to, on his feet. Okay, I'll do it.
First paycheck or first client? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Let's not answer that.
Okay. Big corporate client or cool startup deal?
I think whole startup deal is always preferable.
Cool startup deal.
Yes. Later on, then yes, you opt for big corporate client, but starting, I think whole startup deal is always better.
So from teaching computers at reputed institutes to founding a BPO, how did that happen?
I said that this before marriage I was into teaching, and then after marriage also I taught, and then as I said, my husband, you know, heard about this, and I was intrigued that it's something new,
Hmm.
and I was always open to learning new things and all that. So that's how we came up to this business. And I need to talk about stereotypes also in the business world.
Yeah, that we all need to talk about right now because
Yeah, as females, like, and in this college, we all have girls and all that. And when we go in implant training and all that, you must have seen that in our times, I'm talking about 30 years back, like when not many females were into digital electronics,
huh.
the computer field, hardware field. So it was, I'll give you some small examples so you understand here. So when the connectors are there, the IO boards and all that, the connectors needs to be cleaned with alcohol,
Hmm.
right? So we had in our company, we had a small room where alcohol was kept, and all the engineers had to go there and clean it with the brush and come back. So when I started going for the first time, the peon of that company came rushing, and he said, "Ma'am, ma'am, wait, wait, don't go, don't go." I said, "What happened?" I want to clean it. And, so no, no, please don't go. I said, "What happened?" But everybody else is going. I
Hmm.
said, "Sapna, males hai." बोला हाँ सब मेल्स है बॉयज है तो क्या हो गया, मैं फीमेल हूँ मैं जा सकती हूँ। नहीं नहीं आप फेंट हो जाओगे, आप बेहोश हो जाओगे, अल्कोहल है वहां पे। So seriously, my reaction was whether to be angry at her or whether to laugh. And I said, PV Polytechnic girls don't faint so easily. So don't worry. And I told him, please don't come and help me unless I ask you. Because he used to come running, even the monitors are quite heavy. They
Heavy.
were like TVs, before
Hmm.
analog monitors and all that, cathode ray tubes and all that. So they were
Hmm.
quite heavy. So whenever I used to, pick up one, he used to come running every time. So I said, please don't do that because, I'm capable of doing it. I've already worked on vice machines and all that. So I've already worked all this hard and all that. So don't worry about it. So that kind of, it boils down from the lowest level to, as I said, that Sage,
Huh.
to
Yeah,
the
I remember.
higher level
I
also,
remember.
that you being a female, whether you will be able to do and all that. So those kind of stereotypes, gender stereotypes, I would say,
Hmm.
and prejudices is still there. I think now also in the industry, you must be facing it. So in the business world also, like people, when they have male, they have their bonding, and when a
Yeah.
female enters, the entire scenario changes.
Scenario changes exactly.
But we need to be, take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. I mean, my implant training right now it has come to a lower side when I see to it, comparing it to your time.
Right,
It has come to like so much lower because right now when I was in my implant training, there was no competition as such between males and females for doing the work.
right.
There was nothing like that.
Hmm.
But when it came to physical things,
Right. Oh, right.
again, like
Mm.
you carrying on those computers,
Yes, yes.
there's me carrying on cartons
हाँ.
of PCBs.
Right.
Like, no, no, आप रहने दो,
After so we'll do it.
हाथ
Yeah.
में दर्द हो जाएगा, हम कर लेंगे.
Right.
And one day I was really angry.
Mm.
I came angry because it was rainy season and
Mm.
Mumbai mein to rainy season is,
Right. Yeah.
and
Very
RA colony to gets flooded.
correct.
So I was really angry because I wore a very nice chicken curry white kurta
Right.
and it got spoiled.
Mhm. Right.
So I just came and the cartons also came.
Mm.
Delivery आई थी and ये लोग ऊपर लेके जा रहे थे. There's lift over there.
Correct.
लिफ्ट में रख के ऊपर लेके जा रहे हैं, टेम्पो से लिफ्ट तक लेके जाना है.
हाँ.
आई वाज लाइक बैग में कुछ है नहीं,
Correct.
एक पेन पाउच और एक बुक है,
Right.
एक
True.
पानी का बॉटल है.
Mm.
I'll help them.
Mm.
I picked up one carton, kept it in the lift. I picked up another carton, kept it in the lift.
हाँ.
These people are watching or they're awestruck कि बाप रे क्या हो रहा है. Then suddenly the manager comes,
Mm.
Prashant sir,
Mm.
and he's like नहीं नहीं आपको लग जाएगा ऐसे मत करो. And he was obviously caring he
Yes,
enough. He
yes,
was,
absolutely. Out of yeah,
हाँ, it was
because they're not
genuine
seeing
care.
females working this
हाँ,
hard and all that.
he was just very concerned about it. But I was so angry at that time. I was like, sir, ऐसे नहीं होता है.
We can do as you can also do it. So you want
Like,
to show
मैंने
them,
दो
yeah.
कार्टन वहां रखे और मैं उठा के अभी भी और रख सकती हूँ. Like, नहीं मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because आप अभी
Yeah,
you're
you come up
drenched.
drenched, yeah.
So and you're tired. तो थोड़ा टाइम फिर करना चाहिए तो. But just drink some water. Like, ठीक है. मगर I can do it. Yes, you can do it.
Yes, you can do it. Finally, he said that. Yes, you can do it. They realize it later on. When they see you working and all that, they realize it that yes, you can do it. In fact, my husband, that time he was he was my senior, and when we first met, and he asked me what are you doing and what are your subjects and all that, and I said I'm learning this microprocessor and all that, and he said you GW Basic is also there. So if you know software, why have you come into hardware? There's no place for you. And that like the person who introduced me, I told that person, I said, see, I don't want to meet him again.
दूर रखना मुझसे.
मुझसे दूर रखना. Why are you telling me that this is not a field for you?
Hmm.
But now I understand it because he had
Concern.
concern in the sense that he knew that it was a screwdriver technology.
हाँ.
Hardware field was a screwdriver technology. We never
Hmm.
had any research or anything. We were just getting the chips and all that from one place and another place, and we were just testing it and putting it in the log. And software had a lot many options.
Hmm.
So, but certain times now you feel because you've been through so many prejudices now, that you start feeling everybody is like that.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
just want to prove yourself that oh, no, I can do this also. Like,
Same thing. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna share one more
yeah,
scenario.
sure, sure, go ahead.
Prashant sir was genuine care, genuine concern ke
Yeah.
baba, you just come. But thing happens ke right now also, I'll call up my grandmother or she calls me up
Hmm.
just to check up on me. She'll be like, Beta, what are you studying? Because she's
Hmm.
old, so she
Right,
doesn't remember really.
right.
So she's like, electrical, na? Like, nahi, electronic.
Hmm.
So that is this
The
very big thing
different,
that
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
people have.
People think, they tell me, "अरे तुम ट्यूबलाइट ठीक नहीं कर सकते, तुम इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इंजीनियर कहाँ से?" I said, "I am
अरे
not."
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और ट्यूबलाइट्स क्या
क्या
कनेक्शन है?
connection है? We learn it obviously because first year is common to
हाँ,
everything. But we are not. I mean, we're not electrical engineers. Like we are
we are electronic engineers.
electronic
We build
engineers.
chips.
Yeah. Yes.
So she just asked me that electronics, and she was telling it to her friend or
Mhm.
somebody in
Right.
front of her. Now I don't know because I was on call.
Right.
So she was telling this to her, and that lady, the friend, she reacted as, "Oh my God, ऐसे कैसे? Admission कैसे लेने दिया?" I am just listening now, and my dadi is full on, ऐसा full charge. Like कैसे लेने दिया मतलब? Like
So nice.
हाँ,
That is
my
good.
family is really supportive.
Right.
Even when my cousins question me, कि
हाँ.
this is a
Male
masculine,
dominated.
हाँ,
Yeah.
male
Male dominated.
dominated field.
Yeah.
How are you coming into this? How are you planning to adapt to this field? It's going to
Right.
be very difficult for you. I mean,
Correct.
we're there with you, but it's going to be very difficult for you. I was like, acha, I'm just listening because they're elder to me, so out
Yes,
of respect, I
absolutely.
cannot say
You cannot
anything.
say argue with them.
My
Yes.
father came from behind and he was like, why is it not, you know,
Yes.
adaptable for her?
Yes.
Like, दादा, so he's basically a mama of this, so
Mhm.
वो प्यार से दादा बुलाते हैं उन्हें.
Correct.
And this is all happening in Delhi. हम दिल्ली में
हाँ.
बैठे हैं घर पे and this is all happening.
Oh.
And these people are like, नहीं दादा, it's like नहीं होता है ना, it's
Mm.
difficult. तो papa's like, nothing is difficult.
Yeah, right.
Nothing is difficult when you put your heart into it and when you put your mind to it.
Correct.
It
Absolutely.
happens just as it is going to happen with you, it's going to happen with her.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And
Exclude.
I think it has even at my end, like my dad had we were four sisters and no
Hmm.
son. So he had treated us like sons only. So he always used to say, "You are my
Same.
son." So that was already inculcated in us, And I feel that impossible is not a word.
Yeah. It's
Everybody
like
else
I
sees it.
am possible.
I always see it. I am possible.
Yeah.
I don't see it as impossible. So I think
Same.
that is
And
how it
that is
works.
because the upbringing for us,
Yes,
it that plays a big role.
big role in shaping your career.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I am really
And the
small right now. I'm
choice
really
of yeah, choice of
young
your
to.
career and all that, it certainly plays a big role.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm really young to say this, but I still understand the value of good upbringing
yes,
because just as you said, we are also two sisters and no
right,
sons.
yes,
So two daughters and no sons. So we are also treated as the sons of the house. So
correct,
now people are understanding. Now since I'm in the third year,
correct,
now my cousins and all these people have
yeah,
started understanding कि नहीं
कर सकते हैं,
हो सकता है.
हो सकता है,
There
correct.
are things that can happen where a male does it and a female does it better than the male
Yes,
actually.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, a female can look after child, house. I have done that. Business and everything, like everything in and around. Females are now working in the Navy also, in the Army
Yeah.
also, and they are flying pilots also. So when I went to Kashmir, we had a female pilot, and I actually
Wow.
went and met her and congratulated her. I said, "I'm very happy to
Amazing.
see you, a female pilot flying us over the mountains and all that." So it was, I think, still, but the thing is there, this thing will remain because we have been so many years and centuries of, our mental DNA makeup is like that,
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
females should be doing this and males should be doing this. So I think it will take time. But
Happens.
girls like us, females like us, I mean, I'll not call myself a girl, but females like us will definitely change it.
You don't know more than a girl.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
like,
seriously.
yeah, females like us would definitely change their mindset. Even if one person changes his mindset because of us, it's good. It's a good way.
And
Start.
I was communicating with you. Okay, this is not in the professional side. Okay. When I was communicating with you through WhatsApp, I mean, we had this habit of seeing on the profile picture who are we talking to, the
Right,
person who are we talking to.
right.
Because we never contacted personally, so I
Huh.
never had
Right.
a picture
Yeah, even I
where
tried doing that to your DP, but I think you are
I
very,
have a
very,
mirror
very
image.
smartly you have kept a mobile. Yeah, yeah, we do
So
tend to do that. Yes.
that's because I have this a lot of dealers and everything on my contacts.
Correct.
So I prefer keeping it that
Anonymity
way.
is always better.
Huh.
Yes, sometimes it's better. Yeah.
Though I looked at a picture and I was like, okay. And I was actually wondering. you had your picture with your daughter.
Yeah, right.
So I was wondering who is Bijal ma'am from this. I called up my teachers. I was like, ma'am, दो लोग हैं, मेरे को नहीं समझ आ रहा किससे बात करूं. Because you guys, you actually look just like her elder sister. So
Many people say that, yes.
yeah, I mean, I went to Gayatri ma'am and I told her कि ma'am ऐसा ऐसा सीन है, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आ रहा मैं किससे बात कर रही हूँ. She was like, अच्छा फोटो दिखाओ. फोटो दिखा. She like, दोनों बहन है. I'm like, नहीं, I don't know. मुझे भी ऐसे ही लग रहा है.
It was
Then
the Women's Day, na, so I wanted to like write some message for her, so that's why I kept the DP with her.
हाँ.
So,
So later on, when you told me that you'll be accompanied by your daughter and your son-in-law, so that time I understood कि नहीं, daughter है,
what
वरना
daughter?
both of us were in the fast के नहीं, mother daughter नहीं लग रहे, बहनें ही है.
Thank you so much. It's all,
That's
I
okay.
think, my parents' genes and DNA that has kept me. Otherwise, I don't take care of anything. My daughter is a cosmetologist actually.
Wow.
So she has done her course at ESCO from Switzerland. It's a degree and in makeup and all that. And as I said, nowadays so many options are open. And I also told her follow your passion, as my dad told me, follow your passion, follow your heart. So she's been doing it, but she takes good care of herself. But keeps on telling me, do this, do this, do this. I said, you're talking to an engineer who is least bothered about looks. You should have seen us when we were in college, But I think luckily in this college, only first day I was with oil in my hair, and then later on because the other girls and all that are
हाँ.
so vibrant and all that, you tend to change them.
हाँ.
Then you become fashionable, and you learn about the fashion technology also. And I actually met Wendell Rodriguez, a very good designer and all that. He
Yes.
was a part-time trainer over here. Then
Wow.
him and Trivedi, the choreographer and all.
Hmm.
So like, we used to have all those people, and as a GS, I had to communicate with
हाँ.
them, And Chrysalis is the show,
Chrysalis fashion show.
fashion show and all that. So we used to go and attend it and all that. So it was fun,
Wow.
like nice. So nice to know. In interior designers, I think we share a workshop with them.
हाँ.
So they make their all models and all that. They
Right
also
now
have
we don't.
carpentry and all that. No, not sharing, but
Workshop, as in the lab is the same,
yeah.
but the timings are different.
Yeah, timings are different, obviously. So, but then they used to come, when the sir is the same. So
हाँ.
they used to come and show their projects and all that. So we were like, "Kya ho raha hai?" Something different. So because I think our carpentry and they also have a carpentry and all that. So those subjects are common.
Mhm. Right now for us, so it's like a first year mein we were all very,
Uh,
up to date रहना है,
right,
and
right,
our
right.
hair should be done. When
Correct.
we come to college, we should look presentable. When we get out of college, we should look presentable.
Yes.
Right now we're like, आज ये काम है, ये खत्म
ये
करना है, ये
सबमिशन करना है, ये
submissions है.
करना है, ये कॉपी करना है, नोट्स का ये करना है. Like we used to actually use those carbon pages, papers. Yeah, I don't know
हाँ.
whether you use it now or
We
not to
don't
make
use it now
notes.
because we
Now
have
so you have
computers and
the
everything,
mobile,
and
so you can just click the
हाँ.
photo and all that. So we used to do that. Like when somebody is absent, then for their notes बनाते थे हम लोग नीचे carbon paper
Wow.
रख के हम लोग लिखते थे, so that notes can be passed on to them.
Wow.
So
तो
this
अभी
is
तो हमारा वैसे काम होता है. then आज मैं आई, so I come to college in a very bad place because मैं तो उठ के I'll just freshen up and I'll take my bag and I'll
correct,
come.
correct.
My parents are also like, थोड़ा at least
थोड़ा तो
कॉलेज जा रही है. I'm like, काम करने जा रही हूँ. मेरे को बहुत सबमिशन है. So आज मैं आई and all my classmates were like, you're looking finally like a girl. I was like,
You've
ताना
taken,
मारे
yeah,
हुए हैं.
you have taken pains so for the podcast especially. Thank you
No,
for me.
most welcome.
So it's good.
No, but I was really excited for it. So.
Yeah, nice. Actually, we had fun times in college. I remember all the 4 years. Like we used to put a lot of nail paints and all that, but I never bought nail remover
Ah,
because
lab,
yeah,
chemistry lab.
chemistry lab was there. You still do that?
Yeah.
Which is
अरे बाप रे.
अब दो ना थोड़ा
थोड़ा सा.
निकाल देते थे. So that was fun, like so.
Yeah. Acetone तो अपना होता ही
ऐसे तो
था.
अपना ही रहता है. So why to buy that?
I still tell
So
my mom because whenever she like, you have nail paint on your hands, like, coming out, half is there, half is gone.
हाँ,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
I was like, I don't have the time to see all that. I don't really care about it,
Right,
honestly.
absolutely. In the first year, first and second year only, what these things happen,
हाँ.
that mass bunking and all those things happens only in the
Hmm.
first and the second year. So you
हाँ.
need to go, I need to go to see a movie, a latest movie or something like that, and then you calculate 75% attendance to हो रहा है ना,
हाँ.
because then the blacklist will come. So so all that calculations also goes into it, and then
थर्ड ईयर से तो यार लाइक लेटेस्ट सबमिशन कौन सा है, खत्म करो जल्दी जल्दी जल्दी
right,
पढ़ने मिलेगा फिर टाइम और
true.
आएगा.
But
So I mean I have a knack for everything. I have a knack for getting dressed up also.
yes,
And
but time,
Time
same,
decay.
same. Yes, yes, yes. Occasion pay, I like if you see me while
I'll take
going
my
for a
own time.
marriage and all that, yeah, or Navratri, or while going to play Dandiya and all that, I take my own time, I dress up and all that. But when I'm coming to college or when I'm going to work, then it's like,
वो
just
हम
put
अपने
a,
zone में हैं.
we just comb our hair and that's it. No
Yeah.
mirror is required.
Hair and एक lipstick हो गया बस निकल
बस हो
जाओ.
गया, हाँ,
हाँ.
that's it, that's it.
We have to come back to the podcast.
Yeah.
But how is it when you got your first client?
It was very difficult because, as I said, no, the US people, first of all, when they give it to the third world, we are a third world country for them. So when you have to convince them that we would be equally competent and will be able to do your work and all that, it took a lot of efforts because we had to do a lot many free work for them,
Hmm.
as I said, and then day in and day out and all that. And so finally, when you crack that first client and when you get that order, it's very good. It's, finally you see, okay, all this hard work is not gone waste.
Yeah.
You're finally getting something in return.
You have your own this thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Satisfaction that you get.
Yes, absolutely. Because in my implant training, both the implant training, I did not get even stipend.
Oh my God.
Because one was in SEEPs and very big companies and all that,
Yeah.
and they do not believe in giving stipends.
Yeah.
But I
Like
learned a lot.
experience मिल रहा है.
Experience will run. So I learned a lot. So I'm very grateful for that. I learned a lot. I even learned ROM programming. I don't know whether you have learned or not. ROM programming, the ROM is there.
हाँ, ROM pro.
So it's there it's already comes in the computer, but
Hmm.
we need to program it na
Yeah.
first time. So I have done that also. So
Wow.
when the company is very small and when there are only few engineers, no, you get to learn more.
Yeah.
And when you go to a bigger company, I've seen that there are,
Different
people,
levels
there are
that
different levels and people are there for each
huh,
work. So you learn only what is been, expected
assigned to
or
you.
whatever is assigned to you. But when you are in a smaller, first time I was in a smaller company,
Hmm.
so there not many engineers were there. So, and as I said earlier, that females, not every time they are prejudiced, sometimes it works in our favor. Because I remember my supervisor was a male, and there was another BE engineer who was a male, and they had ego clashes. And he thought कि ये तो लड़की ये तो मुझे क्या परेशान करने वाली है, like she's not intelligent enough, or she may not be that intelligent enough कि वो आगे चल के मेरी position ले.
Huh.
So he used to give me all the circuit diagrams and everything.
That was the privilege that you had.
Yes, and then he used to बी को वो सिर्फ कीबोर्ड ला के दे देता था, बोलो वो बेचारा एक महीने से कीबोर्ड रिपेयर कर रहा है, which is the easiest one to do and all that. And he was so envious. He said, तुझे सब मिल रहा है, बोलते everything he's giving you and all. I said that's because of. So we took advantage of it, and I learned obviously.
It's healthy advantage, no?
Yeah, it's a healthy
Getting to
advantage.
learn
Yeah,
something.
sometimes yeah, something good should also come from it.
Huh. Oh, what was it like setting up a domestic call center, scaling from 8 to 80, just as you said?
Right, right.
How was it? No, what was the process behind it?
Yeah, so first of all, like we got an entry because of a known person, and that was a very big company for whom we were working, and we said that we will be exclusively will be working for you. So we started with eight-seater. At that time also there was so much of competition, because they were already famous, or you can say setups, already 100-seater and 150-seater setups and all that, vying to take this project. Okay, so they already had the experience and all that and all. And we were very young because we were doing medical transcription and all that, and we were very young. We started early. As I said, that you should start early because then it's always better for you. So we were, but then this also happens. Then people used to look at you, and say whether they'll be able to perform or not, whether they'll be able to perform or not. And I had trained my people in such a manner that the what you can say, the VP, vice president.
Hmm.
So he said कि तभी calls थोड़ा technical problem हुआ था तो नहीं आ रहे थे. So he said you can take the call in my cabin. So my people were so confident that they did that. They sat there and he was sitting in front of them and he was watching them. But they did it so well because they were trained so well. They did it so well. He was very impressed. Later on, whatever things were there, he always used to come and say, "Acha, kuch likhna hai, like script and all that." No, we have to write
Hmm.
the scripts, welcome script and hold on script and all that. So you will say, go to Bijal, she'll write it for you. So that kind of, you have to with only with grit and determination. There are other people who are very skeptical that whether she'll be able to perform and whether she'll be able to handle such a big business or not, or so many people, because it's a people skill. People come and leave and all that. So, and we had that after 1 or 2 months, the complete people, 8 or to 10 people whom we had trained, they all left one by one. So they just, one day one is coming and giving the resignation, one day one is coming and giving the resignation. Like this, because they were trained so well, now they were getting now good
Better
opportunities.
opportunities.
So they were going elsewhere. So then I said, okay, fine. Then in the background, I started preparing my own team. And there was not a single day, they left, and the next day my people, other set of people are ready. So that's how, and we had to prove ourselves every year. Every year, a new set of CEO or somebody would be coming, and they would have their own contacts, and they would say, "नहीं, ये contact center तो जाना नहीं है हम लोग ने first time we are hearing about them. So why don't you go with Tata's, or why don't you
Huh.
go with somebody who is well known and all that?" So every time we had to compete. We had to prove ourselves that we are better. We are exclusively working for you. Data is secured over here, and all that. So we kept on doing that, and that's how we came from 8 to 80.
Wow. Wasn't that like tiring sometimes? How
Uh,
did you deal with that kind of stress?
as I
Because
said,
it's
no,
obviously stress
it
there.
is stress. Yes, it is stress. So it's an ongoing stress. As I said, that risk is always there. So no guarantees there in life about anything. So it's not that आज मिल गया तो I can be lax about it. कि मुझे ये contract मिल गया है तो it's going to go forever. No, nothing like that. People change, and then at the top when people change, then they want their own people. Own vendors and all that. So you have to keep on. So that's how you have to keep on upgrading yourself, and see to it that your people are well trained.
Yeah.
So that continuous training also helped. And iteration rate is always there in call center, because people, they come in as a go-between job.
Hmm.
They come for 2, 3 months. They'll say, I'm going to stay here and all that, but they will go for 6 months and then they'll leave.
They leave.
So you have to be ready for that. That you have trained them. They will be working for you for 4 to 5 months, and they're not going to be there
Stay
for
long.
stay long. So we were ready mentally. So we always had, as I said, plan A, plan B. So we always had a plan B.
I was actually going to ask you in that game of mine, okay, are you this kind of a person where you just have one plan and you stick to it and there's no other plan?
Okay.
Or you always have a plan B, but then you answered it so well, I was like, okay, this pointless to ask this question.
Right, right, right. No, always. I think my life has always been like that. Plan A, plan B is always there. I always say plan B is there in the mind.
Mine.
But it is luckily for me, I never had to resort to plan
Use,
B.
huh?
Yeah, plan A always worked for me.
Wow. You worked across different domains, as in like medical transcription, as you
Yes.
said, and teleradiology,
Stereotypes.
teleradiology. I'm
Yeah.
so
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
And financial services.
Right.
How did you adapt so seamlessly? As I was asking you, just the way you explained it to me, you just showcased that you know, you adapted very nicely to it.
Right.
How was that process? Like, it's not easy
Yes,
to adapt.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But how did you get, how did you make it seem so seamless? I'm sorry, I'm not able to find the right words because,
Right.
again, I'm so awestruck when I think about all of that.
Correct.
I'm
Correct.
like, okay, इधर ये है, इधर ये है, इधर ये है, इधर ये है, and she's gone through all the stages,
Right.
and she has made it seem so simple to me,
Correct.
but actually made it not simple. So
Yeah.
how did you do that?
Yeah. See, I think one thing is there that you need to make, as I said, that when our vacation was there,
Hmm.
already my friends were already busy with their colleges and all that.
Huh.
That was the time when you read.
Hmm.
You make books your friend.
Yeah.
So as much you read, you have an open mind, and you gain knowledge. You have to have that curiosity in you. And I think as an engineer, everybody has that. I think engineer should be not just taking notes. अच्छा ये हो गया, ये हो गया. No, why?
Hmm.
If not this, I mean, why do we need a capacitor over there? Why not something else?
Yeah.
That question has to come to you, and then only, because there are all kinds of engineers. I've come across all kinds of engineers. Those who are, ratophile, like a parrot, and they'll vomit on the paper, and then next day if you ask them, अच्छा ये समझाओ, explain करो, they are not able to
हम तो
understand.
लिख के आ गए,
हम
हो
तो लिख
गया
के आ गए,
हमारा.
हो गया, वो हमारा हो गया, like, so not that way, like, but when you say, you do it logically, everything you do it logically, and you have a curious mind
Hmm.
to learn new things and all that, you have an open mind. I think that helps, because at every place, like say medical transfer, it's not my field, but I cannot say, "Okay, since I've been offered, or I'm going into it, it's okay, I'm an engineer, why should I learn medical?" But I learned it. I had doctors and training me. So I also underwent training with them. 6 months training I underwent with them. Then I learned all the American Association of Medical Transcription rules are there. So then there are French medical terms which are pronounced differently, written differently. So I used to teach them, and I had a doctor's batch whom I used to teach.
Wow.
So that is like it's easy for them because MBBS is not,
Everyone's cup of tea.
no, MBBS is not recognized in US and Canada.
Mhm.
So what these people do, when they want to go to US and
Mm.
they don't get an entry, they go through backdoor entry, like they go through Canada. So and
Hmm.
in Canada, medical transcriptionist, if you are there, then you have the highest grade point. So
Okay.
you get an easy entry into it.
Wow.
So these doctors, MBBS, they cannot work on that degree because it
Hmm.
is not recognized over there. They have to learn something else and then they become a doctor.
Specialize something.
Special, yeah, they have to give their exams.
Hmm.
So meanwhile, they can work as a medical transcriptionist. So they used to come to us, and we had trained a special batch. So many batches like that, doctors batches, and they went to Canada and and they went on to go to US and become doctors and all that. So we trained them. So how I was able to do it because I had kept an open mind and I had, I was like a sponge absorbing everything what was going on and all, what my teacher was training and all. So I think that will help you. Books and a curious mind.
Well, I think I can relate to that because all my summer vacations, even though I go out and I enjoy
Yes,
with my friends, but books has always been my favorite.
yes, nice,
They've
nice.
always been my best friend after my sister. They've always been my best friends.
Absolutely, yes. You need to be a voracious reader. I am a voracious reader. I can spend, I think, 2, 3 days in a library without.
Yeah.
You just give me a glass of water or a bottle of water
Coffee.
or coffee. Yeah, coffee is also done. No, no food is required. Books are enough. Like I go mad. My daughter tells me she pulls me crossword pe jate hote. She pulls me, don't go there. I know you're going to spend 2, 3 hours there.
There's a crossword right across over here.
Yes, okay. Our times
You
you
can,
don't
when
have.
you're going, you can maybe visit that. You'll have.
Right, right. We had a
That's right.
sandwich one, I remember. We used to stand outside our gates.
इधर रहेजा के यहाँ पर बैक गेट बोल रहे हो ना आप?
नहीं नहीं बैक गेट पे भी था एंड वन वाज द मेन रोड ना विद द मेन
हाँ.
एंट्रेंस है ना तो वहां पे राइट हैंड साइड पे वहां पे एक सैंडविच वाला था आई डोंट नो वेदर ही देयर आई मीन ही मस्ट
No,
बी
there's this eating joint over there,
अच्छा ओके
but
नाउ इट इज
Rahija के
चेंज्ड
वहाँ पर there's this sandwich wala which you, if you want to try, you can. It's good.
It's good, yeah.
It's good.
We had that sandwich also good. And he used to what he used to do, he used to give us those who have ordered also, and those who have not ordered, he would give them some butter and bread and butter free to them.
That's
His
so sweet.
marketing came in because if you like
हाँ
that,
बात.
then you'll order, ना.
हाँ
कितना
point.
फ्री में खाओगे आपको थोड़ा तो शर्म लगेगा ना ये फ्री में मुझे दे रहा है तो मैं कुछ ऑर्डर कर दूं
Point. Business minded.
yeah
I couldn't relate it that way. I was like, oh my god, he's so sweet.
yeah
ऐसे बच्चों को
we
ही
said
दिया
starting to then I said no there's something going
fishy
on
going on over here.
actually
ऐसे
we were
कैसे दे सकते
doing that because it's a loss to him he bread कुछ मुफ्त में थोड़ी butter bread and all that मुफ्त में तो आता नहीं है then I said oh no he's making future plans learn from him
So, IT, BFSI, and business leadership are often seen as male-dominated places. But how do you think the perception of women in leadership has evolved around the years in these spaces?
think it starts at home also. Like since ours is a male-dominated society,
Mm,
and at home also we feel that no father is the earning member and he has more say into whatever goes on in the house and all that.
mm,
Similarly, at business place also we find that there are more males as compared to females. When I was there, as I said earlier,
mm.
that in our field, so it was little difficult for them to take orders from a female boss. So they were like, हम लोग क्यों सुने उनकी and all
Mm.
that. But what happens is there's a major difference between a male boss and a female
Okay.
boss. And the thing is that a female boss is obviously not going to take any nonsense. Secondly, she's emotional.
Yeah.
So she would definitely, look into all those sides also. And if you can understand her in that way, then I think a female boss is the best boss that you can have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she will try to understand. She'll give you solutions,
Hmm.
to solve your problems and all that in the workplace as well as in
Personal life.
personal life also. So I think that you have to know, you have to have a line,
Hmm.
you have to be friendly towards your employees. I was very friendly towards my employees, and plus at the same time I had drawn a line also
Ha.
where I keep them at a distance, and
Boundaries
yeah,
maintained.
boundaries are to be maintained. And I'll give a small example, like suppose if I want to shout at somebody,
Hmm.
it's very demeaning when you do it in front of everybody else, and and you're doing it directly. So what we do is we play a game. It's a psychological game that we actually adopted in house also, right?
अच्छा.
Because there are two kids and you want to scold one kid and you bade ko डांट दो. तो छोटा वाला अपने आप समझ जाएगा कि
हाँ.
ये मुझे भी पढ़ने वाली है if I don't follow it. So the same game I used to play in the office also. Like I had my supervisors and all that, and always used to tell them that I'm going to do this, and so I used to shout at them. The message goes across everybody that if we don't do it, and
हाँ.
we do it like that. Plus, I came up with many ideas also. Like we had Nariyal awards. Awards were there. Like obviously we need to appreciate people, then only they'll stay with you. So we
True.
used to give them, punctuality awards, and clients कितने ज़्यादा लेके आते हैं, business
हाँ.
कितना कराते हैं, तो वो उस हिसाब से awards देते थे. Those awards were always there, monthly awards. But at the same time, we also used to give them Nariyal awards, which are in black. So black
Okay.
coded the CC paper is there.
हाँ.
So suppose if they don't come in proper attire, because we have learned here itself, that the first impression is the last impression.
Yeah.
And when you go for an interview and all that, our teachers also train us like how you have to go and how you have to present yourself and all that.
True.
So you cannot just go walk in the interview wearing slippers and all that, obviously, because you are going to be rejected. So there are people, who come to work like that,
Hmm.
not following the
Protocols and
protocols and
stuff.
all that. So then what we used to cut out, the costume, voila, and we used to give that award to them. And we used to tell them they have to pin it up on the boards in front of you. And those who don't come on time, then clock, voila.
Ah.
So, and we tell them to give speeches, When we give them the award, we think you're getting an award, so please give a
Please
speech.
speech.
Thank you speech has to be given. So we made them realize
It is not right.
it is not right, and at the same time they took it in a sporting spirit because you're doing it humor with the
Huh.
humor. So these kind of things only I think of women can think about it, like how to
True.
deal with people and all that. And I think slowly the perceptions are changing in the business world now. Still, it is a long way to go. It's a long road ahead us, but yes, changes are happening. So I think they prove, I will not say better, because you cannot say that I'm better than a male boss or something, but you are on equal terms
Yeah.
in being a
Mm.
boss.
As I see it, I mean, I would feel as though there's always a difference there
Yes,
because males tend to think more logically,
yes, absolutely.
whereas females have an emotional side
Emotional
to
side
them
to it.
as well.
Yes, we cannot deny that. Yes, absolutely.
I personally, yeah, there's no comparison, they can be equal, but
Yeah.
there's always this point where you have to consider that a female will look after
Hmm.
each and every aspect that you,
Yes.
if there's a mistake that you're doing, that she'll look after each and every aspect that is
Yes,
surrounding the mistake.
absolutely. Yes, she'll try to understand that, okay, kuch to ho raha hai, problem hai and all that. Sorry. And I had all young people coming at my place, call center and all that. So I always used to tell them that you have boyfriend problems, please keep them at home. You have your parents' problems, please keep them at home. Once you enter the office, then
Hmm.
you have to forget everything. And we had kept mirrors in front of them, so that
Okay.
while talking on the phone, I tell them that you smile and speak.
Hmm.
When you smile and speak, your tonality changes.
Yeah.
The person doesn't know that you're smiling here, but
Huh.
the tonality automatically changes. So we had mirrors so that they could see कि हम लोग smile कर रहे हैं ना. So those kind of things, though, I think it's a female brain, which goes into
हाँ.
it. A male will never think like this.
मिरर रखने के लिए नहीं बोलेंगे.
मिरर रखने के लिए नहीं, वो बोलेंगे मिरर रखेंगे तो लिपस्टिक लगाने बैठ जाएंगे.
हाँ.
That also used to happen, but in breaks and all that.
Breaks.
But it actually changes the overall atmosphere, and everybody's happy to come and work for you then. And since you try to understand their problems, I think, yes, obviously we don't give them shoulders to cry on, but we think about it and we then give them a solution. We have
हाँ.
to think like a male, as I said earlier, we have to think like a male because they are the solution providers. If you read a book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From
Yes. Yes.
so their thinking and solving problems is something different, and
Hmm.
that is applicable in your marital life also, in your all kinds of relationships. Like when the husband comes home and you are, venting out your frustrations that आज भाई नहीं है, ये नहीं है,
They're
वो
going to
नहीं.
give
They're
solutions.
going to give change कर देना उसको या उसका पगार काट दे. I said no, I just wanted to
Listen.
listen. I want to vent out. I mean, I want a sounding board. I don't want advice. I know what is the solution. So that's how, you need to be a problem solver at the workplace. You
Hmm.
need to think like a man, how they want to, and they come home, if they have problem now, then they'll come home and they will, play with children and they will, that's how, or
Figure
they
it out on
figure
their
it out
own.
on their own. They don't want to talk.
Hmm.
Whereas we want to talk
Yeah.
and solve the problems. So that basic difference is going to be there, but you have to understand when you have to become a male boss and when you have to become a
Female.
female boss. It's a tough job, it's a balancing act that you have to do.
Yeah. So, if you had to give this one golden rule that you've always followed for being a great leader, what would it
Uh,
be?
practice what you preach,
Hmm.
because only by practicing what you're saying, they will follow you. If you tell them come on time and you yourself are coming late,
Late.
I don't think so that they will follow it. So
Hmm.
you have to be an example to them, and you have to do that. If you are saying work hard,
Hmm.
don't take a holiday, or uh, on Diwalis and all that, because we were working for US doctors, so we never
Hmm.
had Indian holidays.
Indian
Even on 26th January and 15th August, we had to work.
work.
So then, if I'm telling them that you don't take holiday on Diwali and all those days, then I also have to be present there. So I think practice what you preach.
And your husband was an engineer, is an
Mm.
engineer, sorry.
Right, right.
How has he taken over the business now, and what are you planning for it? Are you planning to still be a part of the business, or are you planning some new other venture that you are about to explore?
Right, right. Yeah, because as I said earlier that I was diagnosed with a disease
Hmm.
just 2 years, 1 or 2 years back, and that actually, we are in the rat race, I think, all of us, and we're just following, we're running, 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 and we want to achieve this, and in a very small period of time, you have one car, you're not satisfied, you want two cars, you have one house, you want a bigger house, and it keeps on growing.
Hmm.
So there has to be a stop over there. So when this actually is, I could say it's a blessing in disguise, because I got the time to ponder and think about my life,
Myself.
that what am I doing? Like,
Hmm.
whether I have to continue following this or continue doing this. But I had a time to ponder over it and think that I no longer want to be in the rat race now, because I don't have to prove to everybody.
Yes. It's time to relax.
It's time to relax now. I've done what I wanted. I've done, as I said earlier, okay, सब
हाँ.
कर चुके हैं. I've been a female boss, been a female employee, started my own company. So, by the way, I would like to mention that
Hmm.
when I was working, I was the boss, and Economic Times had come out with a project that they were inviting writers to write about women entrepreneurs.
Right.
So whom they were inspired by. So one of my employee, she wrote an article on me.
Wow.
Yeah, it got selected around India. They had selected only 10 women entrepreneurs stories.
Wow.
So I was one of them, and they got it printed in the book form.
Oh my
So,
God, that is so great.
yeah,
Please,
so
if you have a soft copy of it, please share it
yeah, yeah,
with
sure,
me.
sure. I'll do it. I'll make it a point.
I
Definitely.
think all of us would be really pleased to read it. I
Yeah,
mean,
sure, sure. I'll definitely see. I don't think I'm having it, but maybe I'll try to contact her and I'll get it for you.
definitely. Thank you
Definitely.
so much.
So that was it. So I already had I've already proved to everybody that I wanted what I wanted to do and all that. So now I want to follow my passion. I have lots of passions and I mean interest, hobbies and all that. Book reading is one of it, but singing, dancing, all that is also a part of it. Drawing, painting. So obviously engineers are good in drawing.
Yeah, so engineering drawing
When
makes us good at
engineering
drawing.
drawing makes us good at drawing, yes. And you have to be, in our times, like when you have to give elementary and intermediate exams, then 5 grade points were given to us,
हाँ,
Still going on, I don't know.
still going on.
Still it's
10th
good.
में मिलते हैं.
10th में मिलते हैं, yes, yes. That was also all kinds of rangolis and all that. These are my passion and all that. So obviously I feel music. I'm right now I'm doing it. Like I'm singing and I'm going. I'm having events also, and I'm singing in
Wow.
those events also. I'm learning also. So I'm doing that, and plus business side, my husband keeps on telling me that you have to evolve. Since you have a good mind, why are you sitting idle? So coding, as I said earlier, that I'm more interested in coding and is
Mm.
my passion. So I would definitely like to go into AI, codes, and sometimes, like I think at my own pace.
हाँ.
I'm now going to decide my pace.
Yeah.
I won't let the world decide what my pace should be now. I'll decide my own pace, and I'll continue doing that. And plus, as a teacher, they were, tires.
हाँ.
So that I think it'll continue. Like whoever needs my assistance and all that. So I'm definitely going to do that. And plus, all my alma maters, my school also keeps on inviting us, and college and all that. So I'm going
Wow.
to continue with that.
But I like the thought of not letting the society,
Dictate the terms for you.
yeah, and control your pace as well. I mean, you choosing your own pace, that's a big thing. That's
Yeah,
actually a very big thing, because you get so overwhelmed by the trends going on in the society that you're like, you have to keep up with them, you
yeah.
have to match up with them. Oh my God, this has changed to this now. Oh my God, this abbreviation has changed to this now. Okay, so I have to
Yeah.
learn this one. But I
Yeah,
like the
absolutely. Yeah, when we were also communicating, you wrote STEM, and like I actually knew it, but then I was because youngsters
Huh.
are having so many, like my own daughter, and they have so many acronyms and all that, which I am not aware of. FOMO is one which I had learned. Yeah, fear of missing out, and ROFL and all that. So we are not so used to all this. We never had those acronyms and all that. So that is why I wanted to confirm that STEM is what I'm
Huh.
thinking. That only,
Yes.
science, technology, engineering, maths. So
Maths.
that's what. So yeah, that happens. That you need to keep pace with it. You need
Hmm.
to keep pace with everything. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's easy to let go. You don't have to, as I said, you don't have to prove to everybody every time.
I appreciate that thought.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Uh, I asked you the question. I mean, gave a fantastic answer for it. I mean, I couldn't think of a better answer than that.
Thank you.
May we know your motivation and inspiration behind all of this work, behind going from venture to venture and exploring all of this, creating your own impact, your own signature on every single thing. What was your inspiration behind all of this?
I would say my biggest inspiration would be my mom. So she was very hardworking and very intelligent. And those times, like she was not allowed to study further. She stood first in the whole district. The principal of the school came and talked to my Nanaji and said, "Ki, let her study further, like if she is interested." But my Nanaji said, उसको पढ़ाएंगे तो उसके फिर लड़का नहीं मिलेगा उसके जितना पढ़ा लिखा लड़का नहीं मिलेगा. So she had faced that. So she was like of the opinion that no, when my daughter is there, I will not stop her. So she was, always behind, education lena hai, education is very
Hmm.
important. And since you are interested in it, go for it. So, and when we enter and when we do certain things, we don't do it with the aim that I want to impress people.
Hmm.
I don't take up a business to impress people.
Hmm.
I took up the business because I liked it. I wanted to
It's a
go for it.
passion.
Yeah, it was a passion that I want to set up my own business, or I want to, pursue electronics or computers or training or teaching or whatever or medical. So that was out of interest I used to do. So if you go with that, like, I want to show people that I'm capable of this and I'm capable of that, then you are not focused. Then you won't achieve that because then you yourself will start questioning yourself whether I'm
Hmm.
doing the right thing or not. You just go with the flow, how life takes you, grab the opportunities which comes because opportunity does not knock twice on
Yeah.
your door. So you have to understand that this is an opportunity, I need to grab it. So that I think you should be able to do. So I think my mother is the inspiration behind all that.
And if I would ask you to give one advice to all these young women who are aspiring to get into IT and electronics kind of field, male-dominated field,
Right.
what would be that advice that you would like to give them in today's time?
Um, I think go for it. No, for it, I think yes. We are just you have so many of avenues opened up in front of you. You're the luckier ones, like from our days, So you have so many avenues opened up. You grab the opportunity, as I said earlier, and yes, if you don't grab it, somebody else is going to come and take it. So either you take it, go for it, and follow your dreams.
Hmm.
So I think whoever has come here like me, जबरदस्ती भेजा गया है तो राइट टाइम में निकल भी जाओ.
Ah,
फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में ही समझ में आ गया कि नहीं, engineering is not for me. Then leave it. You have other avenues, go and take that. But since you have been third year, fourth year, you're already there, so
you
why not?
understand it's a
Yeah,
cup of tea.
yeah, and then why don't you make full use of it? Then give it your 101%. So do whatever thing, but do it with 101%. You don't have to, thinking में half-heartedly कुछ मत करो.
हाँ.
Don't do it like करना है इसलिए मुझे करना पड़ रहा है. Just because they are telling me to do it. No, do it because you want to do it.
So, one more. If somebody like me, a junior of yours, very
Yeah.
dear junior of yours, would like to open their own business, open their own startups,
Right,
what would be the advice that you would be giving for them? How would you like to, how would you guide them
right.
through the podcast?
Okay. See, entering into I entered in a black hole, because I was not knowing what is coming to
Hmm.
me, and how a business should be starting, and what are risks are there, and how to overcome that. And nobody taught me, no lessons were taught to you. So for me as such. But suppose if somebody in your family is already into the business, okay, or your friend circle, and some parents, and if you take their advice, go and take their advice. Plus, we already have, the government helping you out
Right.
nowadays. So see for those kind of projects where
Hmm.
government helps you to get a loan, or for a startup.
Hmm.
Always, what happens is when we don't know, na, we start up with our own money,
Huh.
which I did. So our own hard work, hard-earned money, I'm putting into my own business. But what I've learned at this stage is that startups can be opened, crowdfunding bhi ho sakta
Huh.
hai. People, you can borrow from people also. You can take loans also.
As a matter of fact, I would like, so I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
but I would like to add a thing. So, we have our own incubation center,
Right.
SNDT ka.
Okay.
So they also tell us the same thing, कि Baba, you want to put, put
Mhm.
forth a startup, you want to start a startup. Please, we are there to guide you and give you money.
Right, right.
So we have our own incubation center
Correct.
as well, and now we have those kind of resources, so we really don't need to put our own money
Correct,
into it.
correct, absolutely. So I think, yeah, this is the right way to go. That you do crowdfunding or some kind of source, you take for the. I'm talking about the financial part of it, but at the same time, you need to be equally, you have to be very aware that this is somebody's money that you're taking, and you need to grow it.
Hmm.
That kind of thing, and that will only you can achieve only with hard work. So you have to put in the hard work. It is as if it is your own money, then only you will achieve the success, and then money will keep on multiplying. It's a side product, I would say, byproduct. We learn in chemistry, that this is a
Huh.
byproduct. So it's a byproduct of success.
Hmm.
But success is not measured with money. Success is measured with how you have achieved from what you have started and what you are
From
now.
8 to 80.
Yeah. You can say that.
No, but really, this was like great. This conversation has been so fruitful to me, and I
Right.
am so grateful to have you over here today. Thank you so much for being with us. And as you can see, we got to learn a lot about Mrs. Bijal Powar ma'am, because we got to know how she did engineering and then she went into different ventures, different aspects of life came, but she never stopped learning. She never stopped progressing. And I think that has been something that will always inspire me. And I think it will inspire you as well. So choose your careers wisely. And as ma'am said, please put in the hard work. There is nothing without hard work. With that, I'll be signing off today with Bijal Pawar ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.